Hey everybody, Theresa here of Larkin Design. Welcome back to December Daily 2019, and today I'm going to work on some foundation pages using the Elle Studio Document December 2019 kit. And so I'm gonna just do a little unboxing here. I got the Document December kit itself, and then I also added some of the add-on products as well to my box because, you gotta have all the good stuff. So when I unbox products that I have received, especially for December Daily, I go ahead and figure out some things that feel like they go together for me. And just as they come out of the box, holding the cards in my hand, looking at each one of them and sort of figuring out which ones are my favorites. What are the colors that I'm liking in this kit? What are the icons that I'm drawn to? And you guys, I have to say that these are the best puffy stickers ever, okay? They're puffy stickers with numbers on them. I mean, we're talking about putting both of my favorite things together, numbers and puffy stickers. I'm not going to admit whether or not I bought this kit specifically for those numbers, but don't put it past me. So there were also some wood veneer pieces and also some little acrylic hearts and stars that were part of this release. And so I had to have them all because you need some cute little acrylic pieces, especially for those 2x2 pocket pages. And so I'm already just working out in my head what do I have in my mind that I want to pull together. Notice that I put the wood 25 veneer, I put that on the cover of the album. I don't know at this point if I'm going to keep it that way, but it does look kind of pretty on there. That would be a pretty idea if you wanted to embellish your album cover. That would be a great embellishment for your cover or for your title page. So I was particularly intrigued by these acrylic pieces. These are, or I'm sorry, not acrylic pieces, they're transparency pieces. And so these are white on clear transparency. And there's just different word art, there's circles, there's hearts, stars, little sentiments. And these are just really cool for layering pieces. Put them on almost anything. And then there were also a couple of 3x4 overlays for photos, which is particularly awesome. So I hope to create a spot for those in my album. And then there were puffy stickers as well, the ho 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 sheet there that you see. And then a bunch of labels and die cuts here. These are awesome. These go anywhere. And so what I'll probably end up doing is organizing these by color. And you guys know I love holding on to my supplies and organizing them by color as much as possible. And then scrapbooking by color. So some great labels, tabs here. That Christmas tree is really cute. I really like those candy canes as well. And a couple of little ornaments and stars and hearts. And then I also have the little, these little colorful transparency pieces here. And so these really interested me as I was just going through and looking at what the elements were in this little collection. And so I really liked the words and this little scallop pieces. So I think what I'm going to do is incorporate some of these colorful transparency pieces into a 2x2 pocket page, along with some of the acrylic pieces. And so it's kind of hard to see here, but I will clear my desk here in just a minute so you can see better what I decide to include in these little 2x2 pockets. Something I wanted to do this year was play a little bit more with 2x2 pockets. In years past, I've just kind of hesitated with these pocket pages. They do have their own little challenge, but this was fun to pull together. So I'm going to staple a little tag here at the top, and it was just one of the pieces from the ephemera. And I also have a couple of the little colorful transparency pieces. There you go. And you can kind of see. And so I've put the ornaments in there as well. The ornaments are die cuts, and so I am not sealing those shut yet. I will put something on the back of those ornaments when I'm ready to flip that page for that day. And then some of the other things here, of course, some of these little die cut stars and hearts. And you can see the acrylic star, the black acrylic star. And I put a couple of little wood grain or wood veneer pieces in the pockets as well. And so then when I was getting ready to seal it all up, I've got my fuse tool, I realized that some of the things were a little bit out of balance as far as color here in the pockets. So I'm moving things around just a little bit so that the black embellishments are not too close together. The red embellishments aren't too close together. You get the idea. So once I have them in place, excuse my big fat head here. But once I have them in place, then I'll go ahead and seal everything in. And this is so cute. In the end, I always love fusing these little pockets together and seeing how they come out in the end. It's really fun. And I don't know, it's just happy. Making your own pockets is a lot of fun. I promise I did not burn my fingers, although I'm holding them really close to that fuse tool. I'm so sorry if that causes anxiety. And then I do use a piece of chipboard underneath my pocket to fuse. That seems to work the best for me to get the traction that you need to make that seal. And so once those are all sealed in, except for the ornaments, then I'm going to just clear my desk here and get started on some of the pages themselves. And so I'm just going to flip somewhere in the album and start building. And so when I was going through the cards, you notice that I layered the JOY over top of this little green polka dot card. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. I'm not thinking about this too much, right? This is a foundation page. I don't know anything about what day this will end up being used for, but you can keep it pretty generic. And so that's kind of what I do with my foundation pages, is just at this point, I'm pulling product together that I feel like goes well together and that helps me put my favorites in the album so that I know that I have them right there when I'm going through the month of December and trying to create. So the Fa La La card was definitely one of my favorite cards, and I really liked this little confetti card as well. And so I'm going to layer a couple of the smaller pieces onto these cards. Some of the little transparency pieces looked like they were little circles. They're little red circles with a little X mark on it, kind of like an ornament or a sequin. And so I'm going to just staple those to these cards and just give a little bit of dimension. And then that way I have a filler card and I have a journaling card, and then I can add my photos when the month of December rolls around and I'm ready to use these pages. So that makes this a pretty easy day. I just need 2 3x4 photos, or if it ends up I only have 1 3x4 photo, I can always add another journaling card. And when I get to that place, I'll probably just add something by color. If I wanted to add another journaling card, I would add one that had that red or green in it, whatever I wanted to pull out from this kit. So I mentioned that I really liked the words in this transparency pack and the scallop pieces. So I'm going to layer these together, and I'm just sort of figuring out what color combinations I want to use. And then I'm going to grab just a blank transparency piece. So if you go to AC Moore or Michael's, sometimes you can find these transparency pieces. They're 12 by 12. These are from American Crafts. And I just buy, when I see them, I just buy 10 or so and keep them on hand. And that way you can make your own transparencies just by attaching things to them. I've painted them before. I've used stencils before. Stencils and acrylic paint. You can paint them. You can also use stencil cream on transparencies. And for this one, I'm just going to attach these word strips, these words and scallop strips using my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. And so it ended up that there was one that I couldn't quite reach. There was one staple that I wanted to put in that I couldn't quite reach. And you'll be delighted to know I went and got a long arm stapler from Staples Office Supply store. So I will end up stapling that last one once I put it in the album and in the month of December. But the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher did work really well. I know the Tiny Attacher is supposed to be able to open up and you can use it as a long arm that way. And when I do that with transparencies, it never quite works. I'm not sure. There's just something about how it doesn't like that transparency surface. But that's all right. They're fine. And for now, it works for this. You'll notice that I did have that transparency piece is a little bit smaller than the pockets themselves. I'm not even going to worry about that. It just looks cute the way it is. And so the pages that I want to build around this insert, again, I'm just going to pull out some of my favorite journaling cards and see how I can just have a little bit of fun with this. I wasn't really fond of the gingerbread man and the coffee cup, but I wanted to use the journaling lines from this card. So I'm going to play around. You'll see I'm going to play around here to see what I want to layer on top of the journaling card itself. And then I know for the other 3x4 pocket, I want to use the tag from that journaling card, and I'll end up cutting out that tag and layering it on a different piece behind it. So I ended up using this larger oval here, and that would be a great place to stamp the date, in December 10th or whatever it ends up being, and then write a little bit of journaling. And then, of course, here's where I'm going to cut out this tag. Pink is not really a color I'm looking to use prominently in this album. It will appear in different places, I'm sure, just because it was a part of the Elle Studio kit. I think it was a part of Ali Edwards' kit. There's a little bit of pink in there. There's some other pink that might show up, but it's not a major color. So I decided to use this little green patterned paper as the background. And incidentally, you could layer a photo over either one of these journaling cards if it ends up that I don't need that much room for journaling, but it's there for journaling if I need it. And so incorporating some flexibility, right, in your foundation pages, and that way they'll work for you when you get to that actual day. I'm going to add a little puffy sticker there, and then finish up that little page. And then for the facing page, I thought a little bit about maybe some embellishments to add. In the end, I just decided to leave it for now. Those are some options that I have later on. And so we'll see in December how these turn out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.